You were fabulous.
Oh,
Julia
thanks. Not very
Musso
nice.
with the Universal Generic. You made
Yes. Okay, so Guillermo's imagination is amazing. Talk about his ability to weave the most stunningly beautiful elements and the most frightening.
One of the most wonderful things about Guillermo is his imagination. And I remember I saw an interview that he did on Charlie Rose, maybe about 10 years ago, where he pulled out one of like his journals, and he had all these drawings of monsters and creatures that he had created in his head. And watching movies like Pan's Labyrinth and Devil's Backbone, you kind of feel this compassion for the monsters and the fairy tales that he has. And so that's why when thinking of Crimson Peak, it was why I was so excited to play Lucille, because working with Guillermo, I knew that he would show this woman in a very fair and compassionate light. So working with Guillermo's imagination, I've worked with him twice. I hope to work with him again and again.
Yeah. Now, the set is really alive. Talk about this amazing house and how it really became a central part of the film.
The set feels like a character in the movie. It really is the past, and it's the history. It's kind of what's keeping the Sharpe children and the Sharpe adults now in place, stuck in time. And Edith represents the future and, technology and going forward. Lucille is of the house. Guillermo worked really hard when creating the house to kind of connect us. And he had Lucille's costume, the blue velvet that I wear in the house, almost looked like she could come from the walls. I was wearing, there's these little like spiked acorns that matched this hallway that had spikes. And then there's this the leaves, the lace leaves that I have on my costume is also in the house. So we really wanted to connect these two characters. And it's like working in another era. By creating this house from scratch, he really can tell the story that's in his mind, unlike any other way. I mean, you can't go and find a house that looks like what Guillermo had in his mind.
Now, the love story is both transcendent and frightening. Talk about the power of love in this story.
Love takes a big part of this movie. It's a gothic romance. Guillermo had talked to me in the very beginning about it being a movie about two different kinds of love. But there's a love that Lucille has and a love that Edith has. And for Lucille, for my character, she's a woman that desperately wants to feel love and intimacy, but also because of her trauma, her scars, her history that she comes from, she associates suffering with intimacy. And love, I think, is the reason Crimson Peak works. Because in a way, a selfless love actually wins at the end.
So what can audiences expect when they sit and watch this film?
Well, I think what audiences can expect when they watch the film is they're going to be moved in ways that they didn't imagine. This is a gothic romance, but it's also a drama, and it has ghosts in it, and it's absolutely thrilling. And you can't really say there's another film nowadays like this. It's a throwback to another era, like The Innocents and Rebecca, when they made film, when they would build the sets, and they would create these complex characters. So I would say you bring your friends, you bring your people to cuddle up with when you get scared, and keep your heart open when the love shows up.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you.
care.